We are back with Harvey Warren, and Harvey, we left talking about bankruptcy. When is it the right time to play that card?
Well, there's a couple of times. First of all, when someone is in debt extremis and their creditors are uncooperative, then you have sometimes no choice but to press that reset button. Things have just become so cataclysmic that there's no recovering. You've talked to your creditors, you've asked for concessions, and they're either unwilling to give them, or your ability to pay them back is not sufficient to make them happy.
Perfect. You are here with Angelica, who is sharing. You're another client of Harvey's. Tell us your story.
Well, I got in debt because of medical expenses. And we had a trucking business which was devoted to construction, so obviously with the market going down, we got in debt. We tried another business, import-export business, that didn't work out. And lastly, the husband walked out. So I was faced with no work, nothing. And
so medical bills, no work, divorced.
Yeah, on your own.
On your own.
So you choose bankruptcy.
Well, not quite.
Harvey guided you to that.
Yeah.
But how did you feel about that?
Well, I was very reluctant because I wanted to honor my dad. You know, I tried everything. I wanted to fight to be able to repay my debt.
Don't you think this is a really big misconception that people have about bankruptcy toward people who file bankruptcy?
Right.
That they're taking the easy way out.
Right.
But the people who file bankruptcy don't feel that way at all.
I've never met one person yet that said, gee, I can't wait to file bankruptcy. You know, people hate it. They really don't want to do it, but sometimes it's what you must do.
And there's repercussions to doing this. It's not like you just walk away. There's things that you have
10 years on your credit report and a lot of other emotional issues, but in her case, she had the perfect storm. Medical, family problems, you know, downsized business. It's just, at some point, you just had to say enough's enough, and the courts provide an outcome for that.
How do you recognize the perfect storm?
Well, she just did it.
Yeah.
Medical debt, divorce, you know, business failure, those are the trifecta. That's it.
But don't people want to hang on long enough? Because obviously you probably weren't, I don't want to file, I don't want to file. But if these are the facts that are laid out, that it's just insurmountable and you have no way out, it's just, you put up the flag and say, I've got to surrender?
Well, I had like he mentioned, in my case was the inability to pay. I had a lot of debt and a couple of mortgages. And I mean, I tried, and I guess he saw my good spirit, and he said, honey, no, you need to reset it and just live free. You know, you have 2 kids to fight for, and live free and in peace so that you can actually pull it through and, you know, raise them up happily.
So is that how you felt? Did you feel at peace after you filed?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was able to save my home. I kept my car, and it was a just clean start.
Harvey, what if you're sued? What do you do in that case?
Well, it depends on why you're sued. If you sued because you didn't return the phone calls, that's a problem. If you're sued because the creditor just wants to sue you and you've been trying to work with them, that's going to be hard on the creditor. Judges don't like to see creditors in court when you've tried to work it out with them and they're going, no, 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 we want more money. And you're going, well, I don't have any more money. The judges look very poorly on that.
Right.
So the biggest advice that we've gotten today is you have to talk to your creditors. You can't run.
Your lack of action is a bigger problem than your lack of money. That's the key.
Are there third-party services involved that we should be aware of?
Debt settlement companies and credit counseling agencies. Credit counseling does debt management plans for 100% of balance. 85% of Americans are so in debt right now they don't qualify for those programs. Debt settlement companies, government doesn't like them. The banks don't like them. I recommend that you read a book, get coached, and do it yourself.
Read
my book.
Drop Debt. And if you want more information, you can go to dropdebtcoach.com.
There I am.
Right?
Well, if I know this is scary, debt is scary, but if you want a scary front yard and you want it to be the scariest one on the block, you better stick around, because coming up we have a pretty scary front yard for you.